course I miss you, darling. This is the loneliest place on Earth. Most exciting thing ever happens here is the day when it don't rain. Excuse me, darling, I got some work to do. What the heck is that? Get on in here, Pete. We got us a big old asteroid on a 3-week collision course with Earth.
The asteroid has been named Attila, after the war leader of the Huns, who devastated Europe just before the fall of the Roman Empire. Attila was first spotted in a tracking station in Borneo. According to NASA sources, the probability of impact with Earth is 99%.
5, 4, ignition, 2, 1.
The shuttle is up and away. This is not a mission the shuttle was designed for, but as Mission Commander Boston Lowe said in the press conference last night,
if the shuttle is the last hope of the human race, then it'll have to do the job, won't it? Wait a minute, folks. Let me introduce the landing team. Ludger Brink is a noted geologist. He'll evaluate our data on placement of the nuclear devices.
We have to be accurate. The idea isn't to blow Attila to bits. If we did, some of the pieces would certainly hit Earth with devastating effect.
And now I hardly have to introduce Maggie Robbins to you. She's probably the most well-known journalist in the world.
Maggie, you're famous for having once said that you never put up with censorship in any form. Now you're under NASA command.
Miss Robbins is a reporter by vocation, but on this mission she's...
I think I can answer the question myself, Commander Lowe. Danny, I trained for this mission, and I have work to do in laying the nuclear charges. When I come home, I'll be a reporter and tell you all about it. But during the mission, I'm part of the team, and I will obey Commander Lowe like any good soldier.
That may be the biggest news story of all. Maggie Robbins obeys orders.
In going over your bios, I find that Professor Brink is also a noted archaeologist, while it's well known that Maggie is a prodigy at learning new languages. Is this just coincidence?
Not at all. We wanted the best and the brightest for this mission. Dr. Brink and Ms. Robbins are not narrow specialists. They are resourceful, widely educated, and creative thinkers.
Does that apply to you too, Commander Lowe?
My job is to keep everybody alive. I don't have to be bright, I just have to be careful. The other 2 crew members will remain with the shuttle. Ken Borden is the most experienced shuttle pilot we have. Cora Miles is our payload specialist. As you all know, she's a candidate for Congress, but we figured saving the planet is more important than campaigning.
It's cheaper, too.
Any parting message for the people of Earth?
We have exactly 1 chance. And we've got to do it right. Let all your prayers be with us.
Low here. Come on out, kids. The water's fine.
Robbins here.
Going independent.
Welcome to the wonderful world of space. Don't bump into anything.
I'll be careful, Commander.
Brink here, going independent.
Howdy, Brink. Welcome to the place where geology and astronomy meet.
A professor once told me, astronomers are geologists with clean hands and a squint.
You going to quote him on that in some magazine, Robbins?
I'm just part of the landing team right now, Commander Lowe.
And with that, hello everyone and welcome to 4 Kilobyte Shorts Let's Play of The Dig. Now, The Dig is a very interesting game. As you guys already have seen, we have a lot of very talented people working on this game, or had a lot of very talented people working on this game. It's also one of the few adventure games that was also a book, and as a matter of fact, the entire game was actually built off of a script written by Steven Spielberg. And at the time, Spielberg believed that he didn't have enough funding, or couldn't get enough funding to, I believe in his words, do the script justice. So instead, he gave it to George Lucas and said, do something with this. And George handed it to LucasArts and said, make a game. And thus we have The Dig. So with The Dig, since they based it off of a script, The Dig is very unique in the fact that it's cutscenes and as you saw, its introduction, very theatrical, very over the top, very raw. And this is one of the few adventure games, even among LucasArts standards and some of the most historic video games out there, like point-and-click adventure games from the 90s. This is one of the few games where that level of detail is attained, because of course it wasn't written by game writers, it was written by film writers and then converted into a game straight up. It wasn't made a movie and then you had to follow the movie. It was just, here's a script, make a game out of it, and so they cut out all the bits that weren't game worthy. It's really interesting. It's actually really interesting, and it kind of shows how scripts can become games more easily than people like to think. Of course, when you have movie tie-ins, you got to get it out on time and things like that, buggy and everything else. But anyway, so if you do it right, this is the kind of game you're going to get. So, this is the original Dig by LucasArts, and we're going to go ahead and start our run. Now, we have several controls. We can talk to everybody, of course.
Brink, this is Lowe. Do you read?
I read you, Lowe. What is it?
Same as classic video game or classic LucasArts games, where you have you have a question, you have a comment, you have stop talking, and then you can ask about things that are in the environment. So we'll go ahead and ask Brink. We'll just ask. You don't get to choose the question, but after you've asked enough, these will change color. They'll lose their luster, I suppose, and then you can be done talking about those things. So if you want to have full-on conversations with people, you can. We'll just go ahead and listen to what a few people have to say.
Are you getting a good look at the asteroid, Brink?
I have hardly looked at anything else, Commander.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
No one has ever been this close to an asteroid before, Commander. I cannot possibly know what is usual or unusual.
Is there anything that should make us reconsider the placement of the charges?
The original choice of quadrant seems adequate, Commander.
Alright, and I think we can just keep asking him.
Do you see any problems, Brink?
As you Americans might say, Commander, we will kick Attila's butt.
And there it is. So as you can see now, it's gotten a deeper shade of blue. Therefore, Brink has nothing else to say to us, and we can say something profound. I love it. Just say something profound.
Happy to set foot on a new world, Brink?
Attila is a very old world, Commander. It is merely new to us.
Let me know if you see anything unusual with the asteroid.
No problems yet, Commander.
Alright, we'll ask about Robbins.
What do you think of our star reporter?
Very unorthodox, bringing a reporter on a space mission. But she is very capable, and she writes interesting stories.
Everything okay with the pig?
Everything's fine as far as I can see, Commander. Miles can tell you more than I can.
Now I want to give you guys a little bit of heads up. You may hit an audio blip here and there. Now that audio blip comes from the fact that I am using slightly different recording software to do this. You may also hear a slight background, like more background noise, because the pickup on the microphone of this particular recording system is stronger. And so because of that, what you end up with is I am able to speak over the game, but at the same time you may hear random background sounds, and unlike previous recording software, I'm unable to split the audio. So I do apologize for that, but I'll try to keep the background sounds to a minimum.
Robbins, this is Lowe. Do you read?
Robbins here. What is it?
Getting anything juicy for your first article?
I'm not writing my article right now, Commander Lowe.
This is all pretty dull so far, Robbins. I hope you can find something interesting for your lead.
Commander Lowe, am I doing something wrong?
No, I'm just trying to be friendly.
And I'm trying to be a good crew member. Can't you forget for even 1 second that I'm a reporter?
Just want to make sure you're having a wonderful time, Robbins.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
And she sounds it.
Have you looked up at the Earth yet, Robbins?
Oh, is that big blue thing the Earth?
You know, she comes off as very uppity initially, which is actually very poor for her character because, as we'll see later on, she's a lot more intelligent, a lot less. She's not feminine. Like in no way is she ever portrayed as help me feminine. But at the same time, in this particular conversation, I think what they were going for is she's new. And she's not an astronaut, she's not a scientist, she's a reporter, so she's kind of on the defensive about everything. Every time Lowe asks her a question, she's like, and of course when he's talking to Brink, it's like, okay, it's two professionals talking to each other, and so she's analyzing that conversation as if it were an interview, or if she were like spying, I guess, or she feels like a spy, I'm not sure, but she does come off as very, very blunt and very angry in these conversations, but she's actually not like that.
Some people get vertigo when they realize that they're hanging upside down 200 miles over the ocean.
Do some of them throw up? Is that what you want me to do?
I thought it was something you might want to write about.
I actually had a pretty good career as a writer before I had you to think up ideas for me, Commander.
So very rude.
I just want you to be happy, Robbins. So you'll write nice things about us.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
I hope you're still happy, Robbins.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
Very, 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 very happy, Commander Lowe. Alright, we'll talk to Brink.
What do you think of our archaeologist, Brink?
I'm very impressed with his experience. He headed the U.S. Geological Survey team that mapped the surface of Venus.
He'll be taking a close look at the asteroid to make certain the detonation points they've chosen are suitable. See that big tool chest? We call it the pig.
I've logged 100 hours working with every tool in the pig, Commander Lowe.
Now that statement is rather hilarious with the fact that when you see all the tools in the pig, it's like, I think we've all logged 100 hours with most of those tools.
Everything okay with the pig?
As far as I can see, Commander.
Alright, so let's get moving.
Low out.
Alright, so in order to get the pig out, like we can click on it to interact.
It's the pig. Payload Specialist Miles needs to use the remote arm to release it.
Alright, and if we right click, I think it gives us the same thing. Oh no, right click is our inventory. So we have this, which is our examine icon. We use it to click on anything and he'll examine it.
This is my penultimate personal digital assistant. It's the arm and key for the explosives. Standard issue flashlight.
Of course, and if we exit, I think we can examine things on the outside as well. Yeah, indeed. Alright, so now we're going to use our penultimate. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint here. If you see this logo in the corner, now that's not the only exit, of course, exit's all along the bottom. If you see this logo in the corner, this is actually a very interesting, it's interesting that they put this here. I don't know why they put this here, but they did. But keep an eye out for this symbol around the game, and it'll be awesome. Now, I don't know how to exit this right now, and I don't want to, like, mess up my first video by clicking on it and then not being able to exit properly. But this is an actual Moonlander game. It is a copy of the Vectron, I think it's a Vectron, it was a Vector Graphics Moonlander, which was later converted to the Atari Moonlander game. Perfect recreation, you can play Moonlander, and of course, Lowe will even make comments when he crashes and stuff, but we're going to go for the comm for now. I'll figure out how to make that work later and show it off to you guys, but we're going to go ahead and go for the comm for now. And then, of course, we can talk to each individual person. If we try to talk to Brink or Maggie, we'll just go back to the normal outside conversation. Then we have Borden and Miles, and I believe Miles does the pig, and Borden's just, well, he thinks he's a comedian, but apparently he decided to become an astronaut instead.
Low to Borden, do you copy?
Like carbon paper, boss.
So, as you can see, not that funny.
Are we in position, Ken?
Attila's given us less gravity than I expected, but the attitude jets are compensating.
You're saying Attila is less massive than we expected?
Hey, maybe Attila's nothing but a big old bubble. How do we know what's inside an asteroid?
Yeah, so of course what they're suggesting there in less scientific terms is that they measured the size of the asteroid, figured its composition was probably mostly made up of standard silicate rocks, and then suggested its mass based on that, but since they got it wrong, there's a chance that the rock is hollow.
Let me know if you notice something that would change our mission parameters.
Sure thing, boss. Right now, Attila's sleeping like a baby.
You ready for us to part company, Ken?
Everything's in position, boss.
Any problem with us taking the pig now, Ken?
Just tell Miles and you can take the little squealer to market.
Squee, squee.
This is one big ugly pig.
Is that why Cora always calls it her baby?
I heard that, Ken.
Ouch.
Blow out.
Cockpit out.
Okay, we're gonna talk to Miles then.
Miles, come in, Miles.
Yeah, Boston, I'm on you.
You wish.
In your dreams.
How's the congressional campaign going without you?
Well, my opponent is demanding equal time in space.
With or without a suit?
Just don't screw up the mission, Boston, and I'll be in Congress next January.
Save the world, you get elected real easy.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Till my opponent offers you more money.
That's bribing, paying for votes. It don't work that way. Oh, unless she means pay. See, now that sentence is a little odd, because if she means like increase the pay flow to NASA, that would work, because then of course everyone might get a raise. But if she means like offers him money for his vote, that sentence is very ambiguous.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Only if you move to Mississippi, Boston.
Oh, there is that too.
We're ready when you are, Cora.
Just give the word, Boston, and you got yourself a pig.
Alright, so let's go.
Ready for the deployment of the free fall tool chest.
Is the crew clear of the area?
Crew is clear. Proceed. Everything fine with the pig, Cora?
Looking sweet, Boston. You just be good to my baby.
Now, in normal space, that action probably would have taken a total of 20 minutes to complete, rather than the 3 to 5 seconds it took the video to play. But let's go ahead and grab the pig and we'll move on over.
Load a landing team. I'm taking the pig down to the surface. Follow me.
You be good to my baby, Boston, you hear me?
We'll be back soon, Cora. Try not to miss me too much. Blow out.
Excellent. Now, I also want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up regarding the graphics of this game. These are the original point-for-point, well, the filter type is called point. The point filter type, pixel per pixel, it is basically what you would have seen in DOS. The thing is this game is available, of course, on Steam, which I suggest that everyone go out and buy it, of course, because it is totally awesome. But what I want to tell you is that the Steam version uses a smoothing filter type, which causes this harsh edge of these pixels to be smoothed out, and it gives everything kind of a muddy, washed out look, in my opinion, and that's really unfortunate. However, because of the way that the dig works, I believe that you can get it to run through the Scum VM system, which is the emulator for basically all LucasArts games. You can get it to run through there if you buy the Steam version. Don't quote me on that. I don't know 100% because I own the original. And so because of that, always check back. But just so you know, if you do buy the Steam version, it won't look exactly like this. It will be a little bit muddier, unfortunately. The characters and stuff will be muddier. I like the pixel art style, so I went with the Scum VM version. So let's go ahead and grab the flying pig. Of course, I think the background is slightly less muddy, but these background images were also, of course, drawn more like art than like pixel art. Alright, so we have some tools. Now we have the 0G digger, which I guess is the equivalent of a jackhammer in space. We'll take that. We have a explosive unit alpha and explosive unit beta, and then we also have a shovel, of course, which is just odd, but we have a shovel. Let's go ahead and back out. I believe it's exit, asteroid. Alright, then we want to exit. That's shuttle, right? No, it's space. Space! Go to space! So we're gonna head to space. Now, I know the solution to about 999% of these puzzles. The downside is I may forget one or two. So it's quadrant 3, 4, 2, and 1. I believe we want to go to quadrant 2. Now, this is not a hard puzzle to figure out because it's not really a puzzle. You already have it set up which way you want to go for things, like quadrant A, quadrant B, things like that. So what we want to look for here, as you can see, you have a target surface, and if we take a look at the target surface,
it's where explosive alpha should be placed.
Alright.
It's where explosive alpha should be
so,
placed.
So, as you can see, the default command with this particular setup is examine, which is great. Now, what we want to do is if we try to take unit alpha and we put it down.
The ground's too rough to attach the charge.
Oh, no. So we'll take the 0G digger and we'll drill some holes.
Let's see if we can clear up old Attila's complexion. Nice and smooth now.
Alright, now we can put on our explosive. And that's probably the last time I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do puzzles incorrectly for you guys. Just because it's kind of pointless to do them wrong just to get an extra dialogue or so. I, of course, suggested if you play the game yourself, do everything. Play with everything. Put everything, rub everything against everything else so you can get all the dialogues, because some of the dialogues are actually pretty well done. Even the passive ones.
Shuttle, this is low. We're placing the explosive in quadrant 2.
Acknowledged.
Could you give me a hand with this, Brink?
I'll be right there, Commander Lowe.
Excellent work, Brink. Ken, the charge is set.
Instruments confirmed. Hey, I'm just so proud of you boys.
Apparently floating right and then floating left is how you you help out at putting down an explosive nuclear charge.
Look at the pretty red light, boys and girls. I'd say this charge is armed.
Actually, there is a conversation that we should have. Let's talk to Brink really quick.
Brink.
Hi.
Brink.
Brink here.
Here it is.
Is our last charge doing all right, Brink?
It's a little lonely, but it's doing fine.
Oh, I think I missed it. See, you can talk to people during different points of the conversation, or different points of the game. I think I missed the conversation, but I'll go ahead and give you guys kind of a spoiler. The explosives were... space, here it is. The explosives were given to us by the French. Yeah, the nuclear warheads were donated by the French. I'm not sure why they decided to go that way, but they did. They're like... When you, I think you either ask Miles or Brink or Borden, one of the three. I know it's not Maggie, so that, you know, you don't ask Maggie, I guess would have been the fastest way to say it. But you ask them about the explosives, and they'll mention the fact that the French were the ones who issued you the explosives. It's hilarious.
There's a big rock right where I need to plant the nuke.
Oops. Well, luckily for us, we have a shovel. And we have leverage.
Cora, Ken, I'm jamming the shovel in under the boulder, then using maximum down thrust to pry it up. Does that sound workable?
Well, I'm a little short on data about the tensile strength of shovel handles in 0G under maximum thrust conditions. In other words, who knows? It might work.
Boss, be careful. If the handle breaks, maximum down thrust will smash you right into Attila. You know the saying, whether the stone hits the glass or the glass hits the stone, it ain't gonna hurt the stone.
Thanks for the encouragement, Ken. Brink, if this actually works, the boulder's going to come flying straight at you. Better fly clear.
Thanks for the warning.
Looks like it worked.
Now, aren't you glad I made sure the tool chest had a shovel in it? My rule is, if you can pick it up, take it with you, because you never know when you might need it.
I have the same rule, Cora, but I thought it only applied to women in bars. If you can pick her up...
Careful, Ken. You don't want to find yourself getting quoted as a sexist pig in Maggie's article. I'm not here to spy on you.
Lighten up, Robbins. They're just teasing you. If they thought you were really a spy, they'd never talk freely on the open frequency.
Good to know, I guess. Makes her feel a little bit better, but at the same time, it's like, really? You guys are that paranoid? But I do like the, if you can pick it up, take it with you. That, of course, is the perfect way to play every adventure game ever. If you ever play an adventure game, that is it right there. If you can pick it up, take it with you.
Shuttle, this is Low. Now placing the explosive on the face of the asteroid in Quadrant 3.
Acknowledged.
I need another hand here, Brink.
Of course, Commander.
It looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with his RCS there. And done. Alright, so let's go ahead and key up.
This asteroid has a pair of landing lights now, kids. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Who writes your material, Commander?
I get it all out of the newspapers, Robbins.
Excellent. So, we're all set up and ready to rock and roll, so let us rock and roll. Now, the easiest way to do this, of course, is to go to your comm and to talk to Borden.
Load aboard, do you copy?
I'm here, boss.
Both nukes are in place and armed. We made pretty good time, I think.
Come on back home and we'll celebrate with a banquet of food in the tube.
Tube food! Oh, right. Right. I
Blow
forgot.
out. Cockpit out.
It's not from here. Actually, we could have just exited, I suppose. Yeah, we want to go back to space, and then we want to go back to the shuttle, and then we want to talk to Borden. That's how we want to do that. A little bit more, well, it's not complex, mind you. It's a little bit more complex. Now, of course, like with a lot of LucasArts games, you can double-click to just skip.
Let's head back to the shuttle and watch Attila do the old fire dance.
Yeah, you can just skip by double-clicking, but we're not going to. We're going to watch all the pretty happen. We're going to see us fly by the sun. Whee! Goodbye, sun. Alright, now I want to go back inside, so of course we need to talk to Borden.
Load aboard, do you copy?
I read you, Low. What is it?
Both nukes are in place and armed. We made pretty good time, I think.
Looks good, boss. Come on back inside for the fireworks.
Confirm everybody inside.
All in, Cora.
All clear payload.
All clear, landing team.
All clear, shuttle.
Confirm doors closed.
Doors closed.
Explosives armed. Houston gives us the go-ahead. Say when, boss.
Do it. Now let's see, is it the big green triangle or the little red circle?
Shut up and push, Ken. My baby's getting impatient.
Here we go. We have detonation, Alpha and Beta.
What are the instruments showing?
Nothing big coming our way.
What's the pig telling us, Cora?
Attila's still in one piece. There's a lot of seismic bounce, some fracturing. We're stable again. Radioactivity in Quadrant 1 is well within the safe range.
What does Houston say, Ken?
Everything's go for a surface walk at your option.
Then let's go, landing team. Let's see what Attila looks like after plastic surgery. Be careful, kids. Attila is more dangerous now than before we tamed him.
Those were certainly profound first words to speak on Earth's new moon.
I'm not making speeches, Robbins. I'm concerned about keeping everybody alive.
Commander, I can collect rock samples later. Right now, I would like to get below the surface down into that tunnel.
We're gonna do it eventually. We might as well do it now. You agree, Robbins?
I'm game for it.
I've called the pig. We'll send it on ahead to light the way.
Remember, any rock may be loose, and any wall may collapse at any time.
Please be careful, everyone. Cora, send down the pig, please. We'll need the light. You see anything unusual, Brink?
It's hard to determine how this tunnel was formed.
It wasn't created by the explosion.
No, it's very ancient. The explosions opened the door, but this tunnel... Old, but not as old as the asteroid.
What does that mean?
I don't know yet. It just feels unnatural. There are some odd projections near the bottom of this tunnel that don't seem to belong here.
I would love to meet the archaeologist and geologist who could go inside of a cave on an asteroid for the first time ever, look around and be like, yeah, that ain't right. I mean, you know, you can get a bad feeling and everything, but really? Really, Brink? You're just going to go on with it doesn't work that way? Alright, so we have some odd projections. Let's go ahead and... I know exactly what we're doing, so we're going to go ahead and drill some odd projections.
I may be criticized for it later, but I'm going to dig out one of these odd projections.
It's your decision, Commander.
Now, take that from Brink right now. That it's your decision statement. Now, keep an eye on his personality.
Look at this, Brink. This can't be natural.
Definitely not. A metal plate. Definitely an artifact.
An artifact? But who could have put something like this in a tunnel?
Yes, I think it's clear. Wherever Attila came from, there was someone there.
Could this be part of some kind of message? Like the one NASA put in Voyager?
If it's a message, I don't understand it.
Whatever it is, we've got to tell Houston immediately.
Negative, Robbins. I'm clamping down total security as of this moment.
You've got to be kidding.
You've been telling me all along you just want to be an ordinary member of the mission. I've had secret orders all along to look for any sign of alien presence on this rock. And now that we've found it, my instructions are clear. What I want to hear from both of you right now is, I understand, Commander Lowe.
I understand and agree, Commander Lowe. There is nothing to be gained from a premature announcement.
Robbins.
I understand, Commander Lowe.
Ken, Lowe here.
I read you, boss.
Tell Houston that I said Attila's a real Hun.
What? Is that some kind of joke?
Just tell them, Gordon. You'll receive new communication protocols immediately afterward.
Oh, cool. This is like a secret code.
Just thank Cora. You're the only one in Congress who knows anything about this.
Houston says the message is received and they're transmitting new codes.
We're getting back to work down here, Ken. Low out.
Now, of course, at this point, you'd assume that the rules are that they have to investigate, of course, investigate thoroughly.
It's another metal plate.
I wish there was some sort of inscription.
Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and push some buttons around here. I think there's another one around here. I just gotta find it.
I'm giving this baby a little push.
If that doesn't work, Commander, give it a big push.
The plate just dropped down, inside something.
The plate is gone?
They're like giant buttons. Now, as I was saying, keep an ear out, or keep an eye out on Brink, because his initial statements here are, you're in charge, and if it doesn't work, give it a big push. It seems very destructive, right? It's very not archaeologist. But keep an eye on his personality and his attitude as the game progresses, because you see a very major change later on, and it happens, it's like a 90-degree turn. It happens almost instantly.
I'm going to push another one.
I wish we could be sure we weren't destroying whatever message they meant us to receive.
It seems to me that if they didn't mean us to push these metal plates, we wouldn't be able to push them.
Unless, of course, the metal plates aren't actually supposed to be in here, in which case you have no idea what's going on.
Here's number 3.
It disappeared too.
Alright, I think we have one more odd projection, so let's go ahead and clean that one up. Figured there were 4.
We're 3 for 3 here, folks.
I've heard of putting a message in a bottle, but never in a big rock.
Rocks don't usually float in water, Brink. Alright, we gotta...
Here's the last one.
Oh, we did, okay.
Well, we've done it. Whatever it is we did.
We made the world a better place, Maggie. Okay, now we have to go through the dark tunnel. Woo!
Well, here goes nothing.
We're with you, Commander.
So, the asteroid is hollow. Time to update Houston. Low to shuttle. Static. Must be all this rock.
We're cut off. Should we go back outside and call them?
Nah, they can sit tight for a few more minutes while we poke around.
Because that's always the bright thing to do. I think it would be better to go back outside and say, we found a gigantic octagonal? I think it's 8-sided. Anyway, a gigantic room, perfectly shaped, and perfectly shaped, and buttons and things and stuff. We found stuff. You know, what do we do with this stuff? And they'll be like, yeah, sit tight. But no, instead it's like, let's go poke at stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna meander around. We're gonna pick up this debris. Now these are, of course, the plates that we just pushed down. And one more puzzle. Ooh! Okay, so we now have right, left, up, and down. And we can do this in some semblance of order, but there's really no need.
These plates probably fit together, but how?
No need to. Alright, so I put it in the wrong place. Now, if you remember, I told you about that symbol that's sitting at the bottom of the Palm Pilot here, the penultimate Palm Pilot. If you take a look here,
it won't do anything.
It's just, oh, thank you, though. It's the same symbol.
What's happening?
Unmoving!
I feel like someone turned me inside out twice.
It's a little difficult to move now.
That's because we've got gravity. Planet-type gravity. We're not inside the asteroid anymore. And the pressure is equalized. There's an atmosphere.
Can we breathe it?
Our suits are checking that automatically. Here we are. Yes, it's at least as breathable as the air in LA. Of course, there's always the danger of airborne infectious agents.
I don't think so. Alien microbes should be no threat to us. They have not evolved to make use of our cell structures.
The oxygen in our suits won't last long anyway. I say we take them off and save the remaining oxygen for the return trip.
If there is a return trip.
The air tastes good.
Surprise, surprise. Attila was a spaceship all along.
A starship, faster than light. We're not in our own solar system. No planet but Earth has an atmosphere like this, and this ain't Earth.
After so many years of bad TV shows and crackpots with phony pictures, here is the real proof. There is alien life.
Low to cockpit, over. Low to payload, over. Yeah, I'd say we're out of range. Way out of range.
I don't see any aliens coming to greet us.
For all we know, it might have been 1,000,000 years since these people sent out Attila, and they long since died out.
I don't know about you, but I didn't pack a lunch.
Or a can of pop.
Well, we might as well look around and learn what we can about this place. We might be here a while.
Yeah, we might, Commander Lowe. I did want to get through the intro there for everybody. Of course, getting through Attila and getting down here onto the planet's surface. Aha! But it has been time, a little bit over time, of course. But like I said, I did want to get through all that before we ended. But it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, I would like to thank you all very, 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 very much for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of The Dig. And in the next video, we will be exploring our new home, I guess, and finding a way to our old home. You know, to set up trade routes and things like that. So, of course, I will see you guys next video.